Alright everyone, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to some more of Darkspore. The very first gameplay video in, oh my god, like what? It's gonna be about 6 or so years now? It's been a long time. I say gameplay, more like something that isn't a news video. Mate, today we are going to be making a creation. Well, kind of-ish. We're going to be playing with a template of a creation. So for those of you who are not familiar with Darkspore, the way it works is you are given different templates of your heroes. You're meant to be actually, you know, playing as these heroes in the campaign. We don't have the campaign yet, but we do still have the editor. And I'm going to be editing a good old favourite of mine, VIPER. I loved VIPER. I don't know why, it was just always my favourite one. I think it's because of his spin attack. He had like an AoE attack. In fact, oh nice, it's even got on tooltips there. It had a root. It had a dot, and this is what I really liked was the AoE Tornado, which is like a bit of a like a 360 attack, which then left the dot on it. That's right. Then the expunge would make that dot explode. It's been so long, guys. It's been such a long time. I just remember this would be my favorite one, and especially the one I had a lot of fun, you know, like customizing and making it look really different. So for this video, we're not really aiming for anything in particular. We're just gonna have fun, check out the editor again, like be like a bit of a demonstration slash me just playing with it for the first time in many years. It's definitely been a while. So, obligatory, if you want to play this for yourself, first of all, the game is being kind of recreated in a sense. It is not finished, the campaign is not playable. Right now we can log in to like a fake account and we have our editors. That is it. If you want those, feed the description. Otherwise, sit back and let us have some fun. Now then, good old VIPER. I think what I really liked about this particular hero is there's different variants of each one. I believe there's up to 4 or 5 variants. There's Alpha, Beta, Gamma, Delta, and maybe there's Epsilon. I can't quite remember. There's at least 4, or probably 5. And yeah, what I liked about this one was that it had like all these different parts here, and all these little different spiky parts were actually really easy to like kind of manipulate and give a full sense of complexity, which is what I really liked about it. But what you'll notice though is that I cannot change the arms or the legs. I can't change the body, like I'm interacting but nothing's happening. That's fine, that's just the way the Darkspore editors worked back in the day. But I can change all of the base details, as well as giving it some different details here and there. So for example, we have our big, what would you call this, like the blade? It's called the Toxic Blade, like he is VIPER the Toxic Blade. So I guess we have like our big Toxic Blades here. And I've got like all these different ones here. I always really like this one, it just looks really cool and I love the graphics. Oh, I wish Spore had these graphics. I know Rob, bless him, he has been trying to get like these shaders to work in Spore, but it's just different games, you know, it's not really that easily done. But I know that he has been trying for a long time to get like all these, you know, the way that the textures kind of like map and move. If you've seen like Zrin, for example, Zrin the Sunfist, if I remember correctly, he had like a moving lava texture. That was another really cool one. Right, oh, I do like the big green ones, the big cool green glow. Speaking of which, you can also change the colours a little bit, not too much, but you do have like some customizing. So there you go, it's got like a bit of a orange and purple tint. You can also add details, so that'd be like even more aesthetic parts, but that is not a feature currently rebuilt yet. So right now, all we can really do is give him a different weapon, hands, feet, offense, defense, and utility. And of course, changing the base stuff. So, what do I want? Well, first of all, mate, the weapons have always got to be huge. I don't know what it is, maybe it's the World of Warcraft play inside me. You've got to have giant, stupid weapons. Now, for the hands and feet, honestly, I kind of just like these. Although that doesn't suit him very well, does it? I can scale them, which does actually affect the limbs. Can I rotate these? I can't. Some you can rotate and some you can't. But this one, I mean, I've got like fairly limited choices. So another thing to keep in mind actually is that each hero, there's like different types, different elements. There's a bio, necro, plasma, quantum, and cyber. And as I'm playing a bio character, I've only got access to bio parts, at least the ones that the recap team has added in for us. Bless them, they have given us some options. What about these feet here? There you go, I quite like those ones. I kind of like it when they're a bit on the big... Well, actually, no, I got an idea. Ooh, I'm getting ideas. Right, let us have these ones here. Make it like a little bit on the bigger side. They're actually kind of massive, but then again though, the Spore creations or the Darkspore heroes are quite exaggerated, aren't they? We'll have that. I definitely can't rotate that in any way. So sometimes you can rotate the parts, sometimes you can't. It seems like with these two we cannot. Can I rotate any of them? I can rotate that one. In fact, is it just the core spore ones I can rotate? It starts to seem that way. Right, yes, I understand now. So if the parts that you're using is actually from core spore itself, some of these you can see are recycled from spore. But some of them, like the current one, are unique new models for Darkspore. What seems to be the case is that the original spore ones you could actually rotate, whereas the brand new Dark Spore variants, these are the ones that you can't rotate. This is where Dark Injection came from, by the way, guys. You're probably recognizing a lot of the themes because this is Darkspore. This is where all the Dark Injection parts came from. Like, you are looking at the origin, what sets everything off. It's amazing, isn't it? It really is. Right, so what parts do I have here? So I've got a bunch of different accessories, a couple of bits of eyes, some I can make it like into a big moth creature. That's kind of tempting, actually. Let's go ahead and remove that for now. Right, let me think. Now, first of all, I just want the eyes to be like a little bit closer together, a little bit pointed, a little bit larger. There you go, something like that. And what I actually want, I had that idea I mentioned a moment ago. I had like a big bright idea, and that was to actually give it some custom feet. And I'm going to be hitting escape a lot, by the way. You might see the menu appear a lot just because it is so ingrained into my muscle memory to hit escape when I'm done with the part that escape actually opens up the menu. So that's going to be a bit annoying to try to remember. But yes, I can add in some custom feet, and now that I've done that, the claws definitely make the feet look a bit too large. Right. Now, fortunately, a lot of the base function, because it is, after all, Darkspore is, you know, Spore. It's a different version of Spore. So a lot of the base functions, like tab, works. I was about to say control, that doesn't work, neither does alt. So, which is kind of unfortunate. So I guess the one function works, which is tab. So yeah, like I just tried to alt there, it didn't work, unfortunately. So I can't duplicate parts, but I can still rotate them however I want. So as you can see, I'm kind of recycling parts from the top, from like all the crusting up here. Because, like I said, I can't really add any more parts due to the limitations of the editor. But it does mean that we can be rather creative with our limitations. Granted, with Spore, like I know, of course, with Spore, we've kind of like gone the opposite direction and we just like unlocked it as much as we could. And I'm sure that one day that'll possibly be the case with Darkspore as well. But at least until then, for the time being, just because we haven't got everything unlocked, it doesn't mean we can't still be creative. If anything, you'd arguably be more creative here with those limitations and how you can overcome them than, you know, if they weren't there in the first place. At least, you know, trying to be the optimist here. Trying to be the optimist. I like it. It provides a very interesting challenge. I wonder, now that we've given it some custom feet, can we do the same to the hands? No, we can't. Okay, that's fair. Right then, so I have all of these parts here to play with. I'm thinking, just for the fun of this, you know, just to get back into like actually, you know, using this again, what I'm going to do is move all these parts down here to get them out of the way for now, because I want the back to be completely, you know, open and available. Let's move all of that away. I'm going to be careful to delete any of them. If I delete any of them, I cannot get them back unless I restart the entire hero and therefore, you know, lose my progress, which, to be fair, wouldn't be very much. It would just be tedious. Right, is that all of our parts? Yes, it is. Control Z to get our back. There we go. So, how am I going to use this? What I did with this before, actually, back when, you know, Darkspore was still a thing, I think I had these parts here just to be, like, really long like this, like kind of like a cloak. I wonder, what if, can we have, like, a bit of a wing thing going on? Something like that. I guess I could give it, like, butterfly wings, couldn't I? Oh, that would kind of work, but it would look kind of strange though. What is a way that I could use these? I could also give it like a bit of a fake tail. I mean, that is absolutely an option there. So something like that. If I made that really large. Like that could arguably work. Yeah, just have it centered like that. Yeah, that could actually work. It's interesting. And so with these remaining two here, I could arguably have them as like big pointed ears. In fact, something like that right there, that's, I kind of like it in a really weird way. I actually quite like that. How does that texture up? Oh, it looks beautiful. guys, I'm enjoying playing this again. Is there like anything else I could use? I could imagine that as a tail. Oh god. I could also use that instead. Like I said, I'm just kind of like looking at all the different options here, just having like a bit of fun, seeing what we could do. In fact, it turns out we actually do have some wings. We've got some big old fairy wings right here. And we have the insects, like the more bug-like wings here. So one thing that is actually kind of cool from what I've gathered so far, like I'm still relearning a lot of things, is that a lot of the parts that they've given are very appropriate for the type of creature. So in this case, bio all like the more greeny, grassy, earthy type of ones, and for the bio ones, we're given all the insect wings, which I don't know, it seems kind of fitting, more like nature-y kind of thing. But that aside, I reckon let's go ahead then. Let's turn this into Sonic. I mean, we have so many of these big spiky parts. Let's turn it into like a great big spiky, but oh, that's a bit much actually. Let's go ahead and turn that back. So is that okay? So that's as thin as I can make it. If I do that, it does get quite wide. I'm thinking it's not really what I want. But oh, there you go. Yeah, if I make it really small, then they're a lot more petite, a lot thinner. Right. Okay then. So we could have like a bit of a spiky boy thing going on like this. Let's just make that slightly bigger then. Pull it out more. But a bit of an annoying thing with this particular part is that as you expand it, it does make, you know, the width kind of a bit funky as well. Like it's a very strange part to use. But hey, it works, it works. And there we go, pressing escape again. That's gonna happen. That's gonna happen a lot. Right, we've got another piece here. Let's do the same thing with that one. So we're gonna bend it all the way forward, make it as thin as possible. And then pull it upwards. Like that. I do apologise for the camera, by the way. I know I keep on turning the camera into very awkward angles. It's kind of a bit hard to see. I get used to it again, you know, it's all very bright. Especially when the angle's like this. And I keep on rushing into the UI up there. Or the panel, so I do apologise for that. Alright, so now we've got this big old row of spikes going down the back. As much as I don't want to keep the orange and purple, I do really like the way it textures out. I think that looks really, really cool. So we have that. Now, if you remember how VIPER originally looked, he had the one small set of spikes down the centre, and then another smaller pair accompanying that centred one. So this is definitely quite a big difference. I've adjusted the ears a little bit. The tail, now that I've got these parts here, I'm kind of thinking that maybe we should change the tail around. I'm going to chuck those over there for a second. I'm going to grab this piece over there. And maybe we get something like this here instead. I know he technically doesn't need a tail. I just feel like it will add just like a little bit more. This is, you know, customizing after all. And there we go. I kind of like how that looks. I think that looks alright. So that means then we've got all of these spikes around here and the ones on the arm still. And then we have these big old leafy parts that kind of just jutting out of the arm back there. I'm not sure what to do with those yet. Is that even more parts? Oh, there is. See, this is why I loved this particular hero so much. Like, it just had so many parts all over the place. It's just got tons and tons of spare parts. Like, it really made customizing this one a lot more special, in my opinion. Right. How am I... Can I hold A? Oh, you can make things asymmetrical. Although I kind of don't want to. But I'd honestly forgotten about that. Can I make anything else asymmetrical, or is it just the parts? No, just the parts then. Oh, I forgot about that. Right, so now that we're playing around with all these different parts, I think we should add in at least a couple of these slot parts, shouldn't we? So, let me see then. I'll add some defense. Now, you can have like all these different shieldy types. In fact, how does that look there? Does that texture like, yeah, just like the original Galactic Adventures one. But then you got like all these different armor types as well. Let me see, if I remember correctly, I think it was the black ones that had like a really cool texture. The black ones, okay, yeah, they're just more like a black chromey kind of look, wasn't it? Now, I never really used this part much in the past, but I kind of feel like using that big piece there, or if I could find like a different texture actually, if I could find like a darker version, I think that'd be a lot cooler. All of this, oh yeah, the big obligatory, like I've used that for so many dragon heads. I think that'd be such a cool one to use. Let's have a look. Is there, there is that variant, oh, actually there's a black and white variant there. I kind of want to get like some big shoulder guards going on, and that, yes, that looks like the one right there. So, shoulder guards. Let's just scrap everything off the shoulders, get them all out the way, that way we don't obscure them and miss out on using them. And how am I going to want to have this bit done here? I we got like a bit of a big spiky thing going on already. I kind of want to have something like that going on still. We could actually just have it like that. That kind of works. Or like that. Oh, actually, I kind of prefer it pointing downwards. Oh, see, look at that, man. Big chunky shoulders. The only downside is that great big plate that's just like cutting into his face. That's a bit of a downside, but I love that though. It looks so cool. Right. It looks, the entire thing looks quite special actually. It looks kind of strange, but maybe we're having fun. Okay, I reckon then. Let us get some of our old spikes in. And what we're going to do is have some of the previous spikes kind of go along these shoulder guards somewhat. Not, you know, literally go along them, but at about like a similar area. There I am pressing escape again. That's going to be such a hard habit to break, I swear. I probably could actually change the key bindings and I think about it. But I'll look into that after this video. Let us put one there, one there. We've got another one here that I can put, there you go, like a little bit more random now, a bit more randomized. One up there. And perhaps like a smaller one down there. Cool, I like that, I like that. There are some spikes already on his elbows. I kind of want to keep those the way they are. And then we've got a couple of these spikes down here on his arms. I do still have this piece here to use. I could fashion this into a kind of cape-like thing coming out the shoulder guards. So let's see if I can clip that about up there, somewhat hidden-ish or slightly obscured. Make that really wide. It might look a bit strange, but it could look interesting. That is as wide and as large. Is that really as wide and large? Yep, it is. Okay then. That is as wide and as large as it's willing to go. I think that could work. We can still scale it larger, of course, but I don't want it to be too big, otherwise it'll look a little bit strange. And with that in mind, we'll move all of these spikes inward slightly to accompany it. There you go, something like that. He's one chunky boy now. He is big. He is very, very big. Right. And then I think maybe if we just have those parts like that, mirror on these two parts to be the same type of style. Have one there, maybe make it a bit larger just because. Yeah, like that. And we still have these spikes out, these little thorn spikes here. I'm not sure whether or not I want to use those. I'm kind of thinking I might just leave them where they are now. These two. They kind of mirror the rest of the spikes on the limbs quite nicely. Because if you guys recognize these limbs, it's the exoskeleton limbs from Spore itself. From the very first free patch. So it makes sense that it had that little spiky parts here to accompany it, to like add in all the spikes and such. I think that looks good the way it is. Oh, no, I'm forgetting. I am forgetting. We still have an offense and a utility item to add. Right, we do have these, don't we? So what can I have here? But we do have this. Could I use that in any sort of way? Like maybe as... Is there like anywhere I can change that, modify it? No, I can't. I was thinking that would have been really cool as like some kind of like chest armor. One thing that is actually really cool about Darkspore heroes, like if you ever take the time, like if any of you plan on actually, you know, getting this for yourselves, if you take the time to inspect each hero, I gotta admit, Max did have some very interesting, unique ways to combine some of the details that look like it's part of the body. And that is something that I really should take on board in regards to my own creations. It's very subtle, but very well done. Oh, okay. I have an idea. Look, guys, I'm sorry. Look, I like horns. What can I say? Actually, I don't like them that much. Never mind. Go away. There we go. I don't like them that much now that I think about it. But I could have some kind of, just a little pendant. Nothing special. That could work. There you go. Right, so after a bit of playing around then, I've moved the parts around a little bit and end up having like this sort of funky horns, you know, thing going on. Like this little sphere at the top of the head there. It kind of reminds me of the, what's it called, like one of the Necro and Quantum ones that have like little gems in their heads. I can't remember which ones exactly. It kind of reminds me of that. And I just thought that looked really, really cool. Saying that, I do think that we're going to have that piece there. I should look into removing these all... Oh, wait, where'd that go? Mate, we are not losing parts here. We cannot delete anything by accident. Yeah, I feel like they should be moved backwards slightly. There we go. So now it looks a little bit... you know, just more sceptical in general. And adjust the ears so they don't clip quite as much. There we go, I like that. Now we have two more horns to work with, and I think these horns, The belly area is looking very, very rough. Actually, if I could just put that there. I was saying earlier, I kind of didn't want to like have too much attention drawn to that area. But I think just some kind of very basic form like that, and then maybe having like a single horn there, kind of curving the way around like a belt. I think that could look interesting. In fact, not even as a belt, maybe just like as an accessory to it. And now we have one more random spike to use. What do I want to put this? Where do I put this? I could just put it here on the legs. There you go. Right on the knees, because all the elbows have little spike parts. It would make sense that the knees did as well. And that might just be our creation complete, kind of. We've not done the textures yet. Now you think, right guys, here's the very interesting thing. Like again, for those of you who are like not entirely familiar with how the Darkspore editor works, this is what you could have always done back in the day. You could have moved all the core parts around in such a fashion. All the existing parts you could customize, and then you'd have details on top of it. Unfortunately, it's not a feature yet. I really, really can't wait. But that will, that will eventually be a thing. But until then, this is a rather interesting looking creation. I actually think the belt part was completely redundant now that I look at it, but it's okay. Now textures. The purple is kind of growing on me. I didn't want it to be purple, but it really is growing on me. Let me think. What if we had... Okay, let's ignore that colour scheme for a second. We'll turn that green. What if we have that bit red? Ooh, I do like that. That's kind of evil looking. What about yellow? Looks a lot more, like a lot more naturally. Green looks a lot more intense. What about blue? What about black? The black looks... I mean, the eyes will look evil, just like pits of darkness are staring into your soul. But you can't really see much of the black elsewhere. What about white? That's interesting. Okay. I do prefer the colours though. Could have a pink. I really am kind of liking the purple it's growing on me. So maybe like, what about like this kind of purple here? I kind of like it. So what kind of like patterns can we have then? So as you'll see, the colour patterns are overall quite limited, which is fair. We also only have two things, the skin and the details. So the base isn't available. The base would be, like the actual base of the thing. And I can understand why they'd keep that default. But for the rest of it though, you can change the rest of it quite a bit. And I'm thinking, honestly, I kind of want to have it like I did back when I still had Darkspore, and that also had like a cyan. I did really like that back in the day. I'm also just loving how quickly it's loading. It's just such a breath of fresh air. Oh, that's actually a really dominant pattern there. It's a little bit glitchy, like especially around that arm right there, but that is actually a very large one. And now that I think about it, I think I should probably have these be a different colour, the bigger weapons. I think the green, oh yeah, that's much better. I was going to say, I think the green was looking like a little bit too much of a contrast. That there's looking much, much cooler. How can I pattern out this bit here? Alright then guys, and there we have it then. There is our new custom VIPER alpha. Now that did take a long time, but you know what? It's the first time actually making creation in Darkspore in several years now. I figured it'd be right to not only enjoy it myself, but to really show the process and to see like what exactly are the limitations and the thought process. So I do hope that you guys enjoyed it. I really like how this came out. I think it looks really, really cool. I think the shoulders look a little bit, I probably should have gone with a different colour for the shoulders now that I look at it again. But mate, I love it. I'm so happy I get to do this again. I just can't wait for the details. Like when the details get reintroduced, that's going to be so, so good. And of course, like a greater palette of parts. There is hundreds of parts you can use in Darkspore. And we don't have access to all of them. But we definitely could in the future. Could being the key word. We'll say that we shall, but it was a thing in the past. Hopefully it will become a thing in the future. But there you have it then, guys. Here's the old one as a comparison. And our brand new one right here, looking kind of strange, but I really like it. Right then. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. It's just a nice breath of fresh air. Like, it's taking a bit of a step away from Spore, but it's still being Spore, just creating an entirely different fashion and an entirely different, viewable result. I really, really like it. And yeah, as you guys can see, there's literally 100 different heroes. A lot of them are variants, of course, but there is a lot of heroes, so we can do this with a lot of different type of like ideas, templates, themes, etc. And I would love to do more. So I really hope that you enjoyed it. As always, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know which hero you'd like to see next. I like Viper, I'm thinking about doing Blitz next, but still let me know if you've got any preference. And as always, I will see you all next time. Have a wonderful day, and cheers.